take you to breaking news right now. We are following a pursuit of a reckless driving suspect that began in South LA.
Let's go up to Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal right now. Des, you're on the 110, right?
Juan and Rudabay. This suspect is flying here. Look at this, way over 100 miles an hour. He just went northbound 110 away from the 105. So you know what that means. Not great news for us up in here as we deal with LAX. Honestly, there's not even anyone behind this person at the moment. This got so dangerous, a reckless deuce, by the way, as they call it, reckless driving, suspected DUI. And the sheriff's actually backed off on this because it got so dangerous as he cuts over into the fast track lanes there, northbound on Manchester. And then they were trying to get CHP involved, and CHP was about to take it, and then he got off on the streets, and so CHP backed off, but then he got right back on the freeway. So it's kind of this hot potato of who's going to take this pursuit, if anybody. You can see the spotlight from a LA County Sheriff's Deputy's helicopter overhead trying to deal with this one. They've had trouble even keeping the spotlight on this guy. Blacked out, over 100 miles an hour, zigging and zagging all over the place, and it's a black vehicle, a Hyundai Genesis, I believe they said, which is actually pretty capable. So you see them getting kind of far away in the shot here. We're trying to catch up. Just got permission from LAX to transition on the northbound 110, and it looks like the suspect cutting that person off at the last minute there. Just double in here for a second. Going to be a little bit grainy until we can catch up. But so we're approaching Gage, and you can see even at this late hour, there's quite a bit of volume out here. I mean, we're moving at freeway speeds, but it's still pretty crowded, very dangerous. Had a couple of close calls on the 105. We'll see how they're going to handle this as he goes barreling towards downtown right now. Juan, Rudabay, and Mike.
Yeah, reckless driver going at high speeds. Desmond, lights are off. Actually, we can only really see him when he taps the brakes. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, super. And look at this. I mean, someone else getting right in this guy's way.
Whoa.
And then, I mean, no one, he doesn't have his lights on, and he's going that fast. And I mean, look at how close that one was right there. So, we're just going to turn the speedometer off right now because it has a tendency to kind of lose it when we get this far away. But the location there is still pretty accurate. Northbound 110. I mean, look at how quickly we just traversed the 105, and unfortunately, because of LAX, the suspect was able to get a lot of distance between us. I mean, going about over 100 miles an hour that entire way. I mean, just really, really crazy speeds here. Fast track lanes. These will end at Adams if they continue. Adams over by USC if they continue to the end of the fast track lanes here.
Yeah, and Mike, we were just talking about this, but a black car with no lights on and really heavy traffic heading into a holiday weekend.
Yeah, on a holiday weekend, and we can hear the sheriff's helicopter is trying to get CHP to.
Whoa.
Wow, I think that's just that wide turn. He may be exiting the freeway now. And such bad timing because just as I was about to talk to you, CHP had just been given permission to engage. But now that they're off the freeway, we know CHP doesn't like to get involved in things once they're off the freeway. Desmond and Dylan doing their best to catch back up to this chase. So now we'll be back to just having the Sheriff's Department helicopter overhead as they try to figure out where this guy is. And again, because he is no longer on the freeway, I would assume that CHP is probably not going to get involved right here. Now we are on the west side of the 110, maybe coming back southbound now towards us as we're listening to CHP. So if we're back on the freeway, that is good. CHP could get back involved in it as we're looking for the car right now.
So, Mike, basically he got off the freeway for a second and now heading back southbound on 110?
Yeah, southbound 110 is what we're hearing, and this is the same thing he did on the 105. So he got off the 105, on the 105, off, went up to 605, came back to 605, and then went back eastbound on the 105. So this guy has been doing this. This has been his kind of motive here to go up and down the freeways here, and who knows if he's just trying to figure out a way to lose law enforcement or what have you, but the sheriff's helicopter has done a really good job of being able to keep eyes on him as we move up and down the freeways here. The sheriff's helicopter is still tracking down the 110 freeway past 42nd Street right now. So Des doing his best. That guy really got ahead of us and got off the freeway, lost him for a second. So we're working on reacquiring his location right now, and I think it's going to be right underneath. There we go. So now we got a light back on it, which is great from the sheriff's helicopter perspective, Des. That gives people kind of an idea that he's coming since he's still blacked out.
Mike, does this create a problem? Already Desmond had to ask for permission to cross through the flight path. Now we're going back in the other direction.
Yeah, certainly. And I think Des and his pilot are working that out right now, but we're kind of being held right at USC as this guy goes to the south of us. So we'll hopefully LAX will play nicely with us and let us go back southbound, but it's really aggravating for the controllers to have helicopters constantly going up and down such an important airspace.
And you can imagine being a driver on the freeway here. He is cutting so close.
So close.
Going through like 5 lanes of traffic at times, very sharply cutting off other cars and other traffic and going at very high rates of speed too, Des.
This is, yeah, Rudy, I'm sorry, just listening to my pilot trying to get in with LAX right here as we are, southbound here, almost, getting back down towards the 105 right there. Maybe a disabled vehicle, a tow truck's there on the corner. You got a motorcycle, you clip that guy, and that's going to be a really bad night for that motorcyclist. So this is, frankly, I don't know. This might be one of those ones where the authorities might just think that, it's not worth it. And it's very frustrating to say that. It's just kind of the reality that we've been in the last couple of years when this was just a suspected DUI and reckless driving. I mean, absolutely reckless driving, felonious driving, if you ask me. But at a certain point, it's just it becomes very difficult for the authorities. And then plus, the on and off the freeway thing, and he's in this airspace as well. It makes it that much difficult for the helicopters over here. Well, there's I think CHP right there. They might have just seen this guy and decided to get involved themselves if they weren't already. Well, there are a couple of units there, so they might have been ready for him. Now they're going to go westbound 105. Actually, looks like he's getting off at Century Boulevard. Right there, that other unit you see struggling to get. He had to cut over a bunch of lanes to keep up with this guy. So we've got some flashing lights behind him, which will at least make it a little bit easier to try to track this guy. And then, if they try to ditch the vehicle underneath the overpass, which has become another pretty popular tactic, then that'll be a lot more difficult to do with some black and whites right behind him. But let's see what their next move is going to be. I'm kind of dead on the radios right here, but
coming back northbound.
Coming right back towards us. So just being as aggravating as possible to all law enforcement, and especially us up here in the helicopter dealing with LAX, and we'll, hopefully LAX is going to play along with us on this one. But and then I think this is going to be the suspect right here, and you can see CHP's having trouble even keeping up as well. I mean, this is nuts. Let's see how it's going to kind of muscle their way through here.
Heavy traffic.
We'll just wait right here. I mean, CHP now kind of a little ways away, flying under the on-ramp here. So you're just going to get right back on the freeway. Let's see if we can see here.
It is really hard to keep track of him. And jurisdictionally, for law enforcement, it's tough too.
One moment he's on the freeway, it's CHP's jurisdiction. The next he's back on surface streets, and things go back and forth. But obviously, Mike, CHP units stay in the area just in case things like this happen, right? He goes back on the freeway, they're ready to re-engage.
And just because he's not on the freeway doesn't mean CHP cannot chase him. They just generally don't like to, especially when the want is not that of a violent crime. But we just heard Desmond, he crashed.
Out and running.
So he crashed?
Oh, boy.
And outrunning.
Fig in 84th.
Okay, Fig in 84th. So now that, they're talking about a white sedan going north. Might have jumped into another sedan.
Right here,
one of these is okay. A white sedan now that they're talking about that northbound just east of the 110. I got 4 people talking to me at the same time right here. This is now something that we've been seeing, these suspects doing these Hollywood movie maneuvers where they're ditching vehicles and then having their friends coming and picking them up. There's been 2 high-profile ones just within the last couple of weeks that this has happened, and it's just incredible, the audacity and frankly just the kind of diabolical tactics that are coming along with these suspects to get away. This is not something that we used to ever see. That's going to be the crash, I think, or that's units responding to a crash right there. It's just so hard when we're here in LAX's airspace. Try to find this white vehicle here. I hear the law enforcement talking about it as well. Just maybe give us a second. We'll see if we can reacquire this.
Yeah, so Des, I can tell from you a little bit. We're listening to the radio right here. It was a Mercedes that sounds like it was there to pick up those other suspects. They're moving southbound now, just paralleling on the west side of the 110 freeway, headed south. Fig and almost 90th Street now. It's a white Mercedes. that stopped and was in the area that appears to be kind of friendly. So they're flying now down southbound Figueroa, coming up to 93rd and 94th Street, paralleling the 110 freeway. So really a worst case scenario here for law enforcement that almost had their guy. Their guy did crash. We don't know if it crashed into another car or if it crashed into a pole or something else, but whatever the crash was enough, it was enough for the people that were inside of it to still be able to get out, jump into another car that apparently had 2 people in that other car waiting for the driver. And we don't know if that was a carjacking situation, if this was friendlies that they got in the car with, but now we're southbound Figueroa approaching 106th Street. We'll be approaching the 105 freeway very soon here. So making significant distance, and you see the lights there right at the top of Desmond's screen. That is the new car that they are following. So you've got a bunch of units that are trying to catch up to get on the other side of the 110 freeway. As we continue to fly southbound, those officers looking for that white Mercedes that apparently picked up these suspects are going to come underneath the 105 freeway here very soon. Near the 110. So Juan and Rudabeh, as Desmond works to reacquire, will be out of the LAX airspace here in just a second. So hopefully we'll be able to get a better eye on them as he does that. But such a difficult airspace area for us, and especially when you have suspects that are up and down, left and right, all over the place.
So originally wanted for reckless driving, Mike. He's crashed that car. You haven't heard whether or not that car was stolen, right?
We had not. No, they ran the plate. It did not come back stolen.
Okay.
So it's unclear what, I mean, obviously they're running really hard from something. And that something is more than just reckless driving, right? I mean, you don't really run this way, crash, get into another car, and keep going just for a reckless driving charge. And now that we're southbound, we're either on the 110 or southbound Fig, but we're through the 105 freeway underneath of it. So those units are still trying to catch up, and we see one, yep, I think they're still on Figueroa going southbound. Figueroa is going to cross over the top of the 110 freeway here. Sounds like they're coming up to Imperial now. So really a wild turn of events for this chase.
And hard to imagine the coordination if this was a helpful car, this Mercedes, if it was people who were actually waiting to help the suspect. Hard to imagine how they could coordinate that with so many law enforcement agencies on their tail, even the helicopter having trouble finding them, and the driver going up and down, north and south on the freeways, off the freeways, but then somehow managing to get into this other car. So I guess that is kind of a big question as to whether this was a carjacking, whether the people in this Mercedes want to be helping the suspect in this, who is now in this white Mercedes, or if this was something done under duress.
And if they are helping him, Mike, could they also be facing charges? Because now they're also being pursued by police.
Yeah, they are. So we're southbound on the 110 at Rosecrans, and it does look like there are 2 law enforcement helicopters there exiting Rosecrans, westbound Rosecrans. Westbound Rosecrans from the 110. CHP has told their units to just get off of it and be done. It does sound, though, like there is some other law enforcement agency that may be doing this. There we go, right there, Des. And I think they made, did they make a right turn? Yeah, they made a right turn, and now they're northbound Vermont. And you've got some CHP units still back there, and I think they're even further north of that, Des. I think I saw the spotlight even further north. So, yeah, we're northbound now, coming up on 135th Street. Just a really, really difficult situation for all of these guys.
And so dangerous when you saw when the driver was in the black car with no lights on.
There we go.
I got it.
There we go.
It's northbound.
Still driving
northbound
fast.
Vermont. It's just so aggravating. I mean, you just like, and we just get some black and whites behind this guy, and I mean, I don't know. At what point are the authorities gonna change tactic? I mean, this is just becoming way too common. This was never something that happened. They've been flying around LA for 15 years, never heard about this until a couple of years ago. And even within the last month have we heard about these suspects that are cooperating now and talking to each other and getting multiple cars, and their buddies are picking them up like professional criminals. And look at these insane speeds. This person's going to kill someone. 100 miles an hour here, westbound on El Segundo. Are you kidding me right now? If this person makes one wrong move, multiple people could die. And it's just so it's just beyond words watching these suspects doing this and continuously getting away. I mean, we have 3 helicopters on this. They obviously know about the LAX airspace, and it's just like seems like there's no amount of resources to bring these suspects in lately that are just willing to take these chances. It's like they're just poking the authorities, and it's just so frustrating to see how they've been getting away with it. I'm not saying it's going to happen this time, but they've had, I mean, so many opportunities, crashed, got in another vehicle. They're having trouble keeping up with this one, and we're headed right back into the LAX airspace as they blow through Western here. We were up to 100 miles an hour there on El Segundo. Now we're crossing the 105, and we're going to be dealing with all of that LAX complications that we were just dealing with.
And speaking of danger, too, those Mercedes cars are very heavy cars going at this incredible rate of speed. As you were saying, Desmond, any move, anybody who gets in front of that car, definitely a very dangerous situation. Whoa! Startled both of them.
Yeah, but interesting to note that the driver now using the signal and having the lights on. So do we know that it's the same driver, or is it possible that the first driver jumped in the car and someone else is driving now?
To our understanding, this is a new driver.
Okay.
To our understanding, this person, there's a driver. We believe that there may be a total of 3 people in this car, because it was our understanding that there were 2 people already in the car when they picked up the suspect. So now law enforcement and whoever's chasing this, because I saw LAPD back there for a second. I heard CHP still wanted to be involved. That does to me, though, look like LAPD back there. So LAPD somehow is now also involved in this. And it does appear, though, that they're probably going to be dealing with 3 suspects as a result of this. For sure, at least 2. And I do not believe that the person driving is the same person who already was driving.
It looks like tinted windows there. Of course, they'll be running the plates, and they probably know a lot more than we do at this hour about whose car this is registered, who this car is registered to, et cetera. Blowing through multiple red lights, and now it looks like a little bit heavier traffic, more cars on the road.
Yes, westbound Imperial at Sims.
80.
Yeah, just guiding my pilot Dylan here, who's doing just a fantastic job. He actually was helped me reacquire the vehicle here multiple times already. Very fortunate to have him up here, but you know, now we're barreling 100 miles an hour westbound on Imperial Highway. How does this person not kill someone or themselves right now? Not even slowing down at any of these intersections. Heaven forbid someone is out here trying to cross a crosswalk or something like this, or crazy right here. I mean, look at all of the traffic that has to slow down. I mean, you see this kind of stuff, and it makes you, scared to drive around certain parts of LA. Lights are off now at this point. And this was all, again, let's just remind everyone, because of reckless driving when they tried to pull a different car over. So what is going on with the person that is in the back seat of the car that crashed the original car, and now this car here, professional criminals or what? I mean, it certainly seems like it with the way that they've been handling this. 115 miles an hour on the 105 freeway. No one can see this person coming through. Someone goes and does a lane change, and this person's going to smack right into them with, a speed difference of 40 or 50 miles an hour. It's totally ludicrous what we're watching right here as we hurl towards LAX, and I'm just not even sure how the authorities are going to be able to keep up with this, because the closer we get to the airport, the more complicated it gets for all the aircraft, that's for sure.
I was going to say, are we getting closer to LAX? Are we out of the danger zone there when it comes to the flight path?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're right near their final approach, but I mean, just as we get near the airport, it doesn't really make anything easier. And you've got the tunnels and everything. We've got the high kind of flyover ramps right here as they're continuing on Imperial Highway. But I mean, I don't see the spotlight from the helicopter right now, and they're going to have trouble dealing with LAX. And let's see, is that him right there? And then nope. And yeah, there we go. And it's just man. I remember the days when people would say, why are they running from the cops? It's not like they're going to get away. Those days were not very long ago. And boy, have things changed as the police are trying to catch up here westbound on the 105. As we give you a shot of the southern section of LAX, and I'm hearing the helicopters talking right now, and there's a lot of back and forth about if they even have eyes on this suspect right now.
This is a really tricky one to follow for both us and for law enforcement.
Yeah, it really is, you guys.
Well, they just said that he was.
Oh, sorry, Des. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Des.
Go ahead, Mike. No. We're still trying to reacquire this.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, we are very, very close to the 10. I mean, he's right underneath the 105 freeway, which is what Desmond is looking at. We're right near the south complex of LAX, and that does make things more complicated. Now, luckily, the aircraft can be a little bit higher. It's not as difficult as if we were to be on. on the right in front of it, but we are in a very critical airspace issue. Thankfully tonight, though, we are not dealing with any marine layer that usually pushes us away from the coast. But you can see how much of a struggle it is. I mean, there are 2 law enforcement helicopters up there, and they are even having a hard time keeping eyes on this as we just barrel towards the ocean here. We believe we are westbound Imperial Highway. It sounds like they've got some kind of eyes on them, but it's a very difficult location to try to keep somebody kind of here. It looks like they're going westbound. Let's see, we're trying to get a cross street here. Maybe on Maple Des or Walnut, something like that. It looks like he may be off on kind of surface streets. There's the one of the helicopters. I believe that is the sheriff's helicopter that is in Desmond's shot right there as they're trying to track the vehicle as well. Problem is they don't have the night sun on them. Certainly the flight officer up there may have eyes on them, but they're not lighting them up with the night sun, which definitely makes it more difficult for us to keep track of. But there he is kind of doing that orbit right there to the right, now potentially moving a little bit southbound.
So, Mike, if we can't see him, most likely law enforcement, unless they have those eyes on the ground that could guide the chopper to it, it could be a case where this guy gets away.
Well, I mean, law enforcement helicopters have kind of an infrared technology. So as the helicopter moves back eastbound now, Aviation and 117th is what we're hearing. Aviation and 117 is what we're hearing. Now, they have infrared technologies on it, so just because their spotlight's not on it, they may still have it on a camera. They have a camera just like SkyCal does, and of course, they are not prohibited by the same flight restrictions that we are.
Right.
Certainly, there are some areas that they can't be in, and they still have to talk to LAX and deal with LAX controllers and all of those other things, but they have a lot more leeway. They can be a lot lower. It can be a little bit more difficult to be lost by a law enforcement helicopter than it can be for us. Now, this law enforcement helicopter moving back to the east side, though, and there is a secondary helicopter, a sheriff's helicopter, that is just on the east side of the 405 freeway. So who knows if they've got it or exactly what's happening, but we're trying to sort all of that out. Now you see the 2 law enforcement helicopters almost coming together there just on the east side of the 405 freeway in the area of Felton. And 123rd is one of them. And then you've got the other one that is basically Aviation and like 124th. So who knows if either one of those helicopters have eyes on it, but here we see some CHP units that are responding. So maybe there is somebody with eyes on it, but it's just such a tricky airspace. They're driving so out of control, and there's a lot going on here.
Mike, 2 helicopters, lots of law enforcement behind. Once again, we're probably thinking there's probably more than just a reckless driving want here. Perhaps the suspect knows that they're wanted for something else. I
mean, you would certainly think so. I mean, there's no reason to run this way when all you've done is improperly changed lanes or maybe driven a little too fast. Like, there's got to be definitely something going on. And I think, Des, we're southbound Aviation, maybe at El Segundo now. Excuse me, guys, this is where we're kind of seeing this. On the right side of your screen, you're looking at a video from earlier where this car has been blacked out and weaving in and out of lanes at extremely high speeds as they were trying to evade law enforcement. And guys, just as quickly as we give Des a location, they're already off and somewhere else. So it's a very tricky situation to try to keep track of, but that white Mercedes is still running from law enforcement, and we do see another unit behind it. Potentially, it looks like La Cienega now, we're hearing on the radios. So they're just kind of all over the place.
They're covering a lot of ground, right?
Yeah, and complicated by the fact that as you look on your screen, on the left side, we're trying to follow that Mercedes. On the right side from earlier, it's a totally different vehicle, but that might give at least law enforcement, since it didn't come up missing, a clue as to who they're looking for, at least.
Yeah, it might. And, they'll certainly be able to go through that car, right? The one that crashed and was left behind. Desmond's got it right now. Where are we, Des?
Westbound on Imperial Highway.
Again.
The problem is, we got. I know like the assignment desk is hearing something, and the booth is hearing streets, and Mike hears streets, and the sheriff ship hears a street, and the other one, and it's like we're getting all these different locations, and we're by the sensitive. It's really, really difficult up here, but they did finally reacquire them. Let's see how much longer they can keep them. They were hiding underneath Aviation of the 105 for a while, and then they managed to find them. And then as soon as a black and white got behind them, they step on the gas pedal. I think it's a C-Class Mercedes, I believe, a decently capable vehicle, either a C-Class or an S-Class, making a turn now northbound here. And, I mean, you just wish that, so now we're northbound Sepulveda. Let's see what happens now. I just feel like these suspects are very privy to where they're at. It's not a coincidence that we're now going underneath the runways here at LAX, and we've got one unit who's going to struggle to keep up. But since there's a unit behind, but check this out.
Traffic.
We have a lot of traffic up ahead. So let's see what they're going to do to.
Oh no, is that them? No.
Get a. not even sure if that's the. There's a lot of, yeah, you know, it's a white car. Let's follow it for a second, but yeah, it's kind of too far away to even tell if that's.
Oh,
no,
that's them
no,
right
no,
there.
there it is. Okay, right. So there we go. So now we've got to get a different type of permission from LAX, who I know is just so thrilled to have us along with their traffic controlling duties tonight. And see if we can get a midfield crossover to continue to Westchester here, northbound on Sepulveda. So one lone unit behind this guy, hopefully can keep with them, and because if they don't, with the way that this guy's driving, they're just going to have a lot of trouble. But I think the sheriff's helicopter probably having a lot of difficulty. They have to get the same permissions that we get to go over, and they want to go over a lot lower than we're allowed to. But that's tough because of all the jets that are on a final approach. So a lot of times they can be delayed by that, which is, so we have a couple of units, though, trying to catch up. But northbound in the Westchester area, northbound Sepulveda, always busy. You can see all the stop traffic. Going to double in to see here how the suspect's going to get through this. Look at just zigging and zagging all over.
Well, this is the
any
closest
little
we've
crevice
seen.
that they can fit through. And
This is the closest we've seen
very
law
close call.
enforcement on their tail at this point. They were kind of hanging back before, if they could even find either one of these suspect vehicles before. But now it looks like they're approaching pretty closely.
Yeah, they are. They definitely. I mean, now that they kind of are back on the scent of this vehicle, they're trying to stick with it. And he's eastbound here, coming away through the airport. You saw the, and it's just impossible to be able to keep on top of the suspect if they keep around the airport like that. And that definitely seems like it's by design.
Well, the good news, though, Des, is LAPD had an airship waiting on the north side of the airport.
Yeah,
so there is an LAPD airship that's already overhead this as he moves eastbound, as you mentioned. So the good news is they plan to head for that. So now he's eastbound Manchester through Airport Boulevard. Next major will be aviation. So thankfully, they had the wherewithal to get one of their airships in place on the north side so they don't have to deal with the air traffic control issues that the rest of us do, including law enforcement, as we continue to move eastbound.
And this has just been a huge sprawling scene on off freeways, going different directions on freeways, involving multiple cars, multiple law enforcement agencies, high rates of speed. I mean, this has been all over the south part of LA this evening.
Yeah. It really has been everywhere, and so many close calls here as we cross over the 405 freeway, still on Manchester. Now we're getting on the freeway, it looks like. Is that northbound?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to go northbound 405, I believe here. So not great news for us up here as we see if we can get over the top of the airport. But you see that spotlight, that I think this is maybe the helicopter you were talking about there, Mike.
Yeah.
But now headed up towards the Fox Hills area. Actually, looks like probably getting off. I think this is going to get us off at La Cienega. We'll just have to see where. Now I think we are on the main line. They could get off at La Tijera, but we're still negotiating with LAX to try to get over to the north side of the airport here.
Well, the 405 is a new freeway we haven't been on just yet. We've been on everything else, the 605, the 105, the 110, surface streets. Now we're barreling up the northbound 405, and you can see for a period of time where they actually were flashing their lights to try to get cars out of their way as they continue to just drive at insane speeds. Desmond, looking at this from a great distance as we are trying to navigate to some of the restricted airspace here near the 405.
And we're now being told that, and again, I'm frankly not even angry at LAX, but they're going to make us go all the way around. We can't go around. So we'll see if we can pick this up on the other side, guys.
Okay, as we continue to watch this breaking news, we now want to welcome our Channel 2 viewers, SkyCal, over a pursuit of a reckless driver who switched cars in the middle of a pursuit here. Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal overhead with more, and this has been a tricky one to follow, Des.
Insanely, and LAX is not letting us cross the runways right now. I'm sure they've just had enough of all of this. I mean, frankly, LAX has a lot more important things to deal with right now, getting hundreds and thousands of people safely on the ground and into the skies than worrying about, 3 people running from the cops. And they have the ultimate authority of where we're allowed to fly in their airspace, and they're not allowing us to cross the runway. So that suspect is really far away from us. There was an LAPD helicopter there on the other side. We're just kind of trying to decide what to do, because at this point, if they won't clear us through, we have to go all the way over to the 110 and swing around basically all of LAX's airspace just to continue this. We could do the shoreline transition, which I'm just going to tell you, at night, kind of a dicey thing to be 50 feet off of the water, with seagulls and stuff. Yeah, and birds, and, it's definitely like a scenic thing in the daytime, but at night, kind of hold your breath a little bit. So we're trying to see how we're going to deal with this, and not even positive where it is. But I think we're just going to make the decision to go north 110 if the suspect. Mike, are you still hearing about
we're
them?
northbound 405.
Northbound
we're northbound 405 through the 90 right now. So we're well north. So if they're not going to let you cross and we don't want to do shoreline, I think we should do the northbound 110.
Okay, and Desmond, I know you have your hands full. And Mike, as we look at this video from earlier, this is now the Mercedes. It started out with a black car with no lights on, driving at incredibly high rates of speed with heavy traffic on freeways, off freeways, in different directions. Then it appeared that it shifted to the white Mercedes. We still don't know if it's the same driver, or if it's a different driver in this white Mercedes. Yeah. Multiple people involved here. We're thinking 3 people. And I just have been so worried about everyone else on the road, because extremely reckless driving, extremely high rates of speed.
Well, and we've already been involved in, well, we haven't, but he has been involved in one crash already, right? And that was a fairly violent crash. That was over at Fig and 84th, and that's when they picked up into this other car. 3 people in the car now, we believe. This now going northbound on the 405. This is the first time we've really gotten out of the areas that we've been hanging out in. So now we're northbound 405. We're through the 90. Our next major is going to be Venice Boulevard. And Desmond Shaw and our pilot Dylan has a very, very long shot. For anybody that's watching, we're essentially in El Segundo looking at a shot that is almost in Culver City. So I think that just really goes to show you the power of SkyCal and how far to the north he's looking. And we just heard that he's gotten off at Washington. It looks like they may be going westbound Washington now. So we're still waiting. It looks like LAX is clearing some of the police helicopters through. We're hopeful that maybe after they cleared the police helicopters through, they'll let us through. Who knows? But now we're off the freeway over on Washington Boulevard near Washington and Sawtelle. We'll see if he plays the game. Maybe we don't have to get clearance from LAX, and he'll come right back towards us like he's done on the other parts of the freeway throughout the night. But Desmond's got a very, very long shot of those LAPD units getting off the freeway, and it looks like maybe now eastbound Culver Boulevard off the 405, Rudabeh.
And Mike, we talk about that violent crash with the first vehicle that was involved in this pursuit. Do we know anything about that at this hour? If anyone was hurt, whether it was with another vehicle or into a post or something like that? It
was with another vehicle. We did listen to that, and it looks like, just for Des, for your awareness, they're northbound paralleling the 405, so they are continuing to move northbound. We do know it was with another car, Rudabeh. We don't know the severity of the injuries of the other people that were involved. We do know that they sent the fire department to go check on them. Certainly, as you would hope that they would be doing as a result of all of this. And this guy continuing to make his moves. We see Des looking at a long shot because they came back southbound, and it looks like now they're making an eastbound turn way up there in almost the Culver City area. And again, Desmond's still looking at this from El Segundo. So Desmond has extremely long eyes. I think this is probably the longest, farthest away we've ever really watched a pursuit. So that's very interesting. Des, how many miles away do you think you are from the chase?
Yeah, probably like 3 or 4 right now. I mean, some of those ones that we watch kind of disappear into the abyss of the Cajon Pass or the Grapevine. And those, kind of rival this. But, I've got these units on the shot right here. I know that the sheriff ships are really having a heck of a time keeping up, as well as we're in the Park West area. Just, Still, LAX still not giving us permission to cross the runways right now. We're going to probably try to hail them again here in a second. But if they continue any farther east, we're probably just going to have to go over towards the 110. It's just, you get caught on one side of some of the busiest airspace in the world, and, this is obviously what can happen.
Yeah, and the tactics this driver or drivers are using just makes your head spin. It's just so hard to keep track of, and so hard for law enforcement to keep track of, especially because different jurisdictions are involved when he's on the freeway, when he's off the freeway, etc.
Well, and that's the point too. I don't even, excuse me, I don't even know when LAPD got into this. We just kind of saw them all of a sudden when we were dealing with some of the airspace issues. But yeah, you think they've run from the Sheriff's Department, they've run from California Highway Patrol, now they're running from the LAPD, and really we've not gotten any indication of what they're actually running from. I mean, certainly, you know, originally we were wanted for reckless driving, potentially DUI. Minimum now you've got felony evading and felony hit and run because they smashed into that other car and took off. And if that person has serious injuries, that's felony hit and run causing great bodily injury. So now we're ramping up what the vehicle is wanted for, which is good news because you want law enforcement to be able to chase this thing, to take these suspects into custody and bring this to an end. And the longer that this goes on, the harder that is to do. Desmond is making the decision. We're going to go northbound 110. LAX is not letting us into that airspace. So now, as we are going basically parallel to the 105, about to turn up the 110, this guy is almost up by the 10 freeway in the Palms area. Still running from those law enforcement officers on Overland Avenue. So we've got that LAPD ship that's still overhead, and Dez is trying to make the long throw all the way over to the 110 and then up, and we'll try to catch back up with it.
Yeah, and we know SkyCal will continue to watch this. Quite the pursuit to try to monitor